What's up, Woke fam? It's Scott here from Woke Societies. How's everyone doing tonight? We got the honey badger in the house tonight. And you guys see the thumbnail. You guys can see it. Essentially, Barr could have just walked right in and just done this the entire time. If you guys were like me and many others that I know that sat there and watched that entire hearing, whew, that was tough. It was really, really tough. What's going on, guys? It's Scott here from Woke Societies. How is everyone doing tonight? Thank you for all coming. Gather around, gather around. We have an episode for you tonight. That is for sure. What's going on? I love being here, hanging out with you guys live once a week. Maybe in the future I'll be doing more live shows with you on this channel, but for right now, you just got me on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. You can guarantee it, I'll be here. So glad to see all of you. We're going to be talking about Bill Barr. We're going to be talking about all the asshole Democrats that completely showed themselves. Man, did they show themselves to the country today, guys. If you want to talk about unhinged and absolute batshit crazy, watch that hearing. I think the replay is actually online right now at 8 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock right now. Duh. Live stream time, right? But it is online right now. You can watch the replay. It's probably about 4, almost 5 hours. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Tom Hanks, Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, this whole weird story with Tom Hanks moving to Greece, more censorship, and some crazy, crazy stuff that Trump is implementing not too long ago. We just heard a couple hours ago. So we got a full packed episode today. No queue, which is fine. It's all good. We already have 760 people here. Fantastic. Beautiful. Thank you, Friday Girl, Jojo K, Pops Trophies, my brother, and of course the Hammer Thinking Anon is in the house as well. Thank you for being here, guys. If I missed any of the other mods, I'm sorry. Yeah. And Wheezy Girl. That's right. They're all here. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. So hit the like button if you can for me. Just takes a second. Turn that thumb blue. Hit the like button. Share a comment. Tell everybody, Woke Societies, we are the news now. We are the news now. It's going to be a great time tonight. Thank you all for coming already. We're going to be breaking 1,000 viewers already, and we just got started. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah, I see the hammer. Love it, buddy. I love it. Methods. Hey, I finally saw you in the chat, my friend. We're going to be talking about you a little bit. You're going to have a whole segment on this stream tonight. Most of the video clips that I got on the hearing, because obviously it was like a 5-hour hearing. So my boy Methods, he's a master at getting these clips, and he's got some really solid ones. So I got about 6 or 7 of them, the gems, and he got most of them. So thanks again, man. We're going to be making an announcement with you in just a moment, and I'm going to be also announcing my guest that are going to be on the show Friday, which is going to be really, really exciting. Going to have 2 people on at the same time, which is going to be something different for me on this show, but we're going to do it. We are going to do it. So again, thanks for everyone. Thanks for stopping by here. Check out the links below. Check out the shop. Check out all that stuff while you're here. Support this channel. Support my sponsor. And speaking of my sponsor, I'm going to show them right now, and I'm going to also announce it again in the middle of the episode. As you guys know, Flip City Magazine. I've been talking about these guys for months, ladies and gentlemen. This magazine is pure gold. It makes you laugh. It's comedy. It's satire. It is fun for the whole family. And the best part about it, PC free. So this if you subscribe today, this will be the first one that you get. It's really, really funny. They have, the headlines are Everybody Hates Bill Gates, The Kids Aren't Alright, Songland, Stars in Quarantine, Woke World, and Friends Be Aging Badly. Really, really funny stuff. So if you wanted to ask, how much is this magazine, Scott? Well, I will tell you. It is super cheap. So when you go to flipcitymag.com, this is their beautiful website. You go right here and you click a link here that'll bring you to their subscription, and look at this. You cannot beat this price. It's $20, ladies and gentlemen, $20 for a full year subscription. You get 4 magazines for the year. You get 1 every quarter, or you can buy single issue. And when you get it in the mail, guys, I'm telling you, it feels so good in your hands. The artwork is beautiful. And the best part too is they now ship international. So everyone outside this country can also join in the fun and laugh at the people that we talk about on this channel. The swamp, these political assholes that we're going to be talking about tonight for sure. They're all going to be in here. Epstein stuff, Bill Gates, it's all funny stuff. So go check out flipcitymag.com. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel. So thank you guys for allowing me to do that. So where shall we begin? Well, I want to give you guys just a taste real quick. Just a taste of what this hearing was about today. And if you guys watched it, it was hard for me to watch, probably along with many of you guys out there, because they were the House Democrats were not, and I'm meaning the entire time, would not allow Bill Barr to answer or just have any kind of response to a question or accusations that these people are cancer. Literally, I've been saying it all day. They would not let this man respond to anything. He was literally, and they've been waiting months to do this hearing, and literally it was a clown show, an entire clown show. So I'm going to show you guys a quick 1 minute like summary clip here, video from my man Axiom Report, who's made some really, really great videos. So I'm always down to give credit for people that grab these videos. So really awesome. This is where I found it. So we're going to start here tonight. So watch this video, and I'll see you guys on the other side of the intro. Take a watch.
In this country, it wasn't reclaiming my time. In April, times is when does something actually become custom?
Reclaiming my time. This is not a trick question.
In this country.
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. General.
Without any remedy at all.
I'm reclaiming my time. Let me share with you.
Well, you gotta let him answer.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, sir. Reclaiming my time.
But he found
reclaiming my time without political bias.
He said he
and in
found
April,
evidence.
Reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney. Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Barr.
Substances.
Attorney General, reclaiming my time. There are rules by which we operate here. I would ask you to respect them.
But the 64 Act did not extend to...
Reclaiming my time, sir. In both documents...
Mr. Attorney General, reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
I think that's what it's...
Okay, reclaiming my time. And again, I'm happy...
Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say...
Shame on you.
Can I just
say... My time is expired.
Well, Patriots, we're going to reclaim some of our time today. You ready to get this show started? Let's go.
Thanks for tuning in to the land of the real. But it's like the Twilight Zone, the plan is surreal. It'll blow your mind when the plan is revealed. Bring it all to light, all the plans they conceal. Grab your flashlight, it's time to go down the rabbit hole. It's dark and hell is hot, dealing with satanic souls. The tide is turning, Patriots are now in control. Apply aggressive pressure right now until they fold. Stay woke, open up your eyes and keep them peeled. All they do is lie, realize not everything is real. Through Project Looking Glass, the future is revealed. Future proves past, but there won't be any deals. Woke society's fam, you know it's time to go. Grab your popcorn, sit back now, enjoy the show. Severe and non on the mic, so come on, enjoy the flow. The wave is rising and you know it's only gonna grow.
I would like to reclaim my time, sir. I need to reclaim my time. I must have heard that at least 200 times. So before we begin into the content, I want to make my announcement, my first announcement. I am so excited to be doing this, guys. Tomorrow, me and Methods are starting our new show together. He's going to be doing other stuff on his channel throughout the week, but me and Methods are going to be every Wednesday at 3 o'clock on Methods to Madness with yours truly, episode 1. And everyone's been dying to know what Methods has to say about all this, because they canceled Occam's Razor today because of the hearing, which is fine. You know, the hearing was important. Everyone was watching it, but you're going to be getting that tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern, our first show together, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a different format than what everyone's used to, more chill, more laid back. It's just going to be a conversation between two two guys that love each other's company, and I couldn't be more honored to do it with somebody like him, and it's just still humbling that we're even doing this together. So can't wait, Methods. I know you're out there, so it's going to be an awesome time. And just to announce real quick, on Friday, I'm going to have, let's see, we're going to have Severe, the rapper, and Bryson Gray, who was I think he hit number 5 on the iTunes top chart list. We're going to be talking red pill music, censorship, and everything that they're going through right now. Because if you guys didn't know, Severe got taken off Bandcamp. He's trying to get back his music up on there now. So we're going to have both of those guys on at the same time. Two really talented rappers, two awesome guys, two red pill dudes, and they're making waves. And we're going to be talking on Friday. It's going to be a cool conversation. So much stuff to look forward to this week. We have a full packed week. So let's get into it, shall we? So I want to start here. This is from Greg Price, and this guy down here, his name's Fleckus, and we're going to see some of his Twitter in just a moment. So I want to start here real quick because Jerry Nadler was somebody that we're going to be talking about a lot today. So if you guys didn't notice, Jerry Nadler, if you guys live under a rock, Jerry Nadler thinks this entire Antifa thing, all these riots, all these things are myths. So we're going to hear the quick conversation, and then we're going to play a video of really what the truth is after this. Take a watch.
It is true. There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa that's happening in Portland right now? There's riots.
That's a myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
It's a myth only being spread around Washington, D.C. And he's dead serious. He literally says this is a myth. Now, I don't know how these people sleep at night. I don't know how they do any of this. How do they go and carry on about their lives constantly living in lies and just complete projection? But, you know, I want to watch this video because it's the truth and it's even funnier. Take a watch and look at this.
It is true. There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa that's happening in Portland right now? There's riots.
That's a myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
About Antifa in Portland?
Yes.
It is true. There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa that's happening in Portland right now? There's riots.
That's a myth.
Statues coming down. F the police.
About Antifa in Portland?
Yes.
It is true. There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa that's happening in Portland right now? There's riots.
So you guys get the point. And still to this day, and I thought maybe there was a shot that one of these Democratic House members today in the hearing with Barr, I figured maybe one of them would disavow Antifa at all, and not one of them have yet to disavow Antifa or any of these violent quote unquote protesters. And Jerry Nadler here thinks this entire thing's myth, it's fake, it's all a hoax, and it's just Trump trying to use this for his political ad videos to get reelected. A lot of this came out today. I feel like today, which we're going to see later on in the show, all the Bill Barr clips of this committee hearing, what happened. I think this was pent up anger over months and months and months of these people getting destroyed and the narratives getting destroyed because social media and everything going on right now, they're pushing back as hard as they can against us because they cannot stop us. And the information is coming out too fast. As they're pumping out the lies, we're pumping out the counter narratives in real time. And right now it's more amplified than ever because we have an election coming up. And I know for a fact myself and all the other creators, Twitter accounts, all of us out there, even the small accounts, we are making an effort to do as much damage as we can right now. So right now, everything is projection. Everything is, no, we're not doing that. Trump's doing that. And it's all lies. But again, I just like to re-clarify. This is what peaceful protesting looks in the Democratic eyes. Buildings burning, police departments burning, Minneapolis, Louisville, people being shot, people being killed, and this entire thing, and we know it's run by Marxists. BLM is founded by Marxists. They are trying to employ old school tactics that were done early in the early 1900s, trying to provoke police to kill one of them, sacrifice somebody, and then we're going to go really hard on the police. And maybe, I don't know, maybe take up arms. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows at this point? Because it's not getting any better. It's not getting any better. And Jerry Nadler still to this day still thinks this is a myth. But if you guys didn't know too, if you ever watched The Lord of the Rings, I think this is the third one. In Lord of the Rings, they have a peaceful protest when they're trying to take over Minas Tirith. And all the orcs here, you can see orcs marched on Minas Tirith this morning in a mostly peaceful protest. The riders marched for peace, justice, and love and calm peaceful. So the orcs, even when they were trying to overtake castles and strongholds, just remember, this is what a peaceful protest looks like verbatim. And we have that. So, and just to wrap this up, because I've been talking about these protests and all this stuff, we know the monotony of it, but I just thought this was funny. This guy's name was Paul Gallant. He was trashing Trump and saying that everything's peaceful, everything's fine. These protests are really nothing. Nothing's going on. It's not being portrayed. There's not Antifa. There's no one burning stuff down. Well, guess what? Literally the day after that he tweeted this stuff, this is the Starbucks that is underneath his apartment. And here he says, came home to my apartment complex. The Starbucks underneath has been destroyed and cops are telling us to stay away in case something explosive is inside. And now he's complaining. He said, great job, assholes. And now everything underneath him and his apartment can't get in. And he says right here, unrelated, there's a fire a few blocks from me, which had me freaked out when I saw it from the highway. Zero clue what's going on, but the cat and I are getting the F out. I feel like I need to buy a firearm because clearly this is going to keep happening. Enough is enough. It looks like a block party down the street from me. Really angry right now. And the reason why I bring this up is because it was also brought up in the committee hearing today. These same people, mayors, governors that are totally cool with letting these people destroy their city, just to flip the bird off to Trump, just to say they're all peaceful protests, these same people are coming after them. It's happened in Oakland. We've seen it a couple of other times to people, and the same people that are bitching and complaining and saying nothing's really happening, this is all peace and love. When their shit gets destroyed, what do? They're buying guns. Just like the rest of America right now. Huge gun sales, and for obvious reasons. It's just so funny to see the hypocrisy from people. Until it happens to them, their total tune completely changes. So we have that going on. It's just so funny to see it happen over and over again. So I want to get that out of the way because that was part of the hearing. And it was all talked about. We're going to get into that in just a little bit here, but I want to just go over a couple more stories here before we get into that. If you guys didn't notice, there were doctors that gathered in Washington, D.C. They gathered and they were speaking out in the air. They're all outside. And there was multiple doctors that gathered together and they were talking about HCQ and how it needs to be over the counter at this point. Literally talking about how many lives they have saved by the hundreds, each of them. So you're talking about, there was probably about 10 doctors. So probably thousands of people between all of them, all saying they use HCQ with the mix of zinc and some other supplement that goes with it. And they are curing people and it's also preventing people. Talking about HCQ. So don't be surprised if this stream gets taken down because of this video. It's already been taken down. There was Breitbart was live streaming it. And social media, I think it was Facebook first, were the first ones to take this down. And you can still see it on their website here that it's still unavailable. Because I think they streamed it through one of these platforms that is clearly censoring doctor information, doctor testimony of people that are actually doing it. And you can see it here. Frontline physicians aim to dispel massive COVID-19 disinformation campaign. And American doctors are holding a white coat summit on Capitol Hill Monday to address what they call a massive disinformation campaign surrounding the Chinese coronavirus, to which American life has fallen casualty. And this one lady, I'm going to play it right here. It's still up here. I'm going to play it right now. So cross your fingers, nothing gets taken down. But this is from Fleckus. Nobody needs to get sick. This virus has a cure. Dr. Stella Emanuel, who is a saint. You're going to watch this video. You're going to fall in love with her. This video went viral. This video I put on my Facebook just got taken down maybe an hour ago. Dr. Stella Emanuel explains how HCQ not only works as a cure, but can also be used to prevent COVID infection in the first place. Take a watch of this.
Past few months, I've taken care of over 350 patients. We've not lost one. Not a diabetic, not somebody with high blood pressure, not somebody with asthma, not an old person. We've not lost one patient. And on top of that, I've put myself, my staff, and many doctors that I know on hydroxychloroquine for prevention, because by the very mechanism of action, it works early and as a prophylaxis. We see patients, 10 to 15 COVID patients every day. We give them breathing treatments. We only wear surgical masks. None of us has gotten sick. It works. So right now, I came here to Washington, D.C. to say, America, nobody needs to die. I'm upset. Why I'm upset is that I see people that cannot breathe. I see parents walk in. I see diabetics sit in my office knowing that this is a death sentence and they can't breathe. And I hug them and I tell them it's going to be okay, you're going to leave. And we treat them and they leave. None has died. So if some fake science, some person sponsored by all these fake pharma companies comes out and say, oh, we've done studies and they found out that it doesn't work, I can tell you categorically it's fake science.
It's fake science. And she continues to go on for another full minute there. And the first thing I saw when I heard this, I was like, can you be my doctor? She goes on for way after that. You could tell, you can just read people when they're telling the truth, when they're convicted, when they're passionate. This woman right here goes on to say that these companies, social media companies, especially now, have blood in their hands. And it's not just them, it's many other outlets, including the mainstream media, who have been a huge problem. Have you ever seen a supplement, a cure to something so politicized and so the outrage towards it ever in your entire life, that's been around since what, the 60s or something? It's been around for decades. And you have doctors here that are going out and literally, she goes on to say, you can come after me, you can kill me, I don't care. I want to save American lives, and I know this works because she's done it. And now you have this video was taken down. It was completely taken down by, I think, most of these social media outlets, and they're only out now because they're being shared because people screen record them or whatever. But this is what we're coming against. And it got even worse because people were getting banned, not banned, but they were getting suspended on Twitter just for sharing the video. You know how many, this video went viral. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people were sharing this video. Were they going to ban everybody? No, but they went after Donald Trump Jr. And this is from Enoch. When real Donald Trump retweeted her tweet with the video, Twitter deleted it. It says video no longer available. And after that, I think they got it right here. Donald Trump Jr. was later suspended on Twitter, which we'll get to in a minute. But Stella here, who I now follow on Twitter because she's effing awesome. Stella Emanuel doubled down and she said, I double dog dare you all, give me a urine sample. And she called out, I forgot who it was. I think it was Nancy Pelosi. I know for a fact she called out Dr. Fauci and said, I want your urine sample and tell me right now that you're not taking hydroxychloroquine, and we'll put this debate to bed right now. I love this lady. I fell in love with her the first 2 minutes that I saw her. I hope she stays safe. And the big thing that people were talking about is, why aren't doctors coming out more? This is the same situation with your neighbors snitching on you. You have Karens also in the medical field that are willing and waiting, foaming at the mouth to go after anybody, doctors, to go report them to their medical board to get their medical license stripped and their lives and their careers ruined, done, and over with. Because sometimes these doctors are prescribing HCQ, and what happens? They go to the pharmacy and they refuse to fill the prescription, refusing people medicine. This is what's happening. This is what the news networks will not talk about. And this lady's out here not giving a damn, having all the passion in the world, and you could see she has conviction. She loves what she does, and she's talking about saving American lives. I love it. She's awesome. It's just so awesome to see. And it's terrible that doctors out there are afraid to do this. And I totally understand. You don't want to lose your job. I get that. I totally get that. It's a toxic world right now, and it's not going to get any worse until this election's over. And because they banned this video, guess what they did? These doctors went out there yesterday, and she went back there today. She said HCQ works, if made available over the counter, the pandemic will be stopped within a month. And this is what she was talking about.
Americans don't need to be dying. Americans don't need to be sick. American schools don't need to be closed down. We don't need to be cowering in fear.
Which way do we go?
So if you can help us and do an executive action and make hydroxychloroquine over the counter, this pandemic will be stopped in a month. Because right now, they are handcuffing in the hands of doctors. There are state boards that are causing us all kinds of headaches. Even when we prescribe this medication, pharmacists are not filling it. So if we can make it over the counter, then, sir, we take all the middlemen out and it gets straight to the American people. It's over the counter in many nations. The second thing you can do, if you can't do that, is to reduce the stockpile and give it to people like us so that we can dispense it to patients. President Trump, we know that you can do it, so thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. And you know what? I think Trump's listening because I'm gonna at the end of the show, we're gonna talk about what Trump did. When I said he's gonna be on his 8-week trial run here as far as just dropping the bombs that he's been waiting 3.5 years to do as far as the things that this country has never seen. And we're going to get into that at the end of the episode. But it's just great to see doctors like her stand up because right now, social media and mainstream media, they're all about censorship and they're all about suppressing information. And if you guys didn't know what's going to happen tomorrow, there's going to be another hearing, which is going to perfect transition to what we're going to be talking about right now. There is a hearing tomorrow for big tech concerning antitrust and the law. What is it? Section 230. Section 230 that protects all these big tech social media platforms being sued and the whole publisher versus platform argument debate. All the bigwigs, Mark Zuckerberg, Bezos, the head guy from Google, Jack's a complete bitch. He's not showing up. That's not a surprise because he is going all out right now to the pedal to the metal as far as censorship, going after the president's son, and you're going to see it here. So Project Veritas, if you guys didn't hear too, Matt Gaetz sent a criminal referral from Project Veritas. This was based on Project Veritas's videos. This foundation was built on. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is now facing a criminal referral for lying to Congress under oath. Here he is in 2018 answering questions from Ted Cruz. Do you think he's guilty? And this is why I was tweeting before. I was watching these hearings. I was awake at this point, so I was just newly awake, coming into my own, realizing all this stuff. And this asshole right here, Mark Zuckerberg, lying to their faces, lying to Senator Ted Cruz here, saying, no, sir, we're totally impartial. We are a fair platform. And we all know it's horseshit. And the moment that dude walks out, it's business as usual. Big tech continues to censor. Watch this video because tomorrow is going to be a doozy. Take a watch.
And most recently blocked Trump supporters Diamond and Silk's page with 1.2 million Facebook followers after determining their content and brand were, quote, unsafe to the community.
You know, a lot of people were taken down, Trump posts.
Yeah, I knew that too. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to hold you accountable for taking it down.
So it's for the better.
Yeah, hell yeah. You gotta get the Cheeto out of office.
I know that Facebook does have a Trump rule where they still allow him on the platform even though he says things that if anyone else said it.
And that's the fortunate thing is even if he does say something, if it gets repeated, we can at least get the average Joe.
We can at least get the average Joe. Now, Congress gave Zuckerberg a chance, and he's been in huge trouble. He's being sued for billions of dollars. He's been sued for billions of dollars for selling users' third-party information to third-party vendors. He's already been nailed for that. He's been sued for other things. He's been in some really shady stuff. We all know this already. But he was given a chance to go in front of Congress, give his spiel, and change the direction of what he was going. And did it get better? No, it actually got worse. And thank God for people like the people over at Project Veritas that are sending in undercover agents, I guess you could say, and infiltrating these people and getting the real story because they don't know they're being filmed. So you're getting the real, unbiased, no lies. You're getting what's actually going on. This isn't stories. This isn't fake news. This is coming directly from the people that sit behind a computer in Silicon Valley and actively delete content, censor content, and even a lot of people destroying their lives and businesses. It's wonderful, isn't it? Just for having a separate opinion. So tomorrow, that is going to be addressed. And this came out literally just before the stream. This is from Breaking 911. Zuckerberg to tell antitrust hearing, which is tomorrow from Facebook, is proudly American and urges U.S. authorities to update rules for the internet. And my God, I know myself and everyone else that has a YouTube channel and just has Twitter and that lives, their businesses are online. We need this so bad. We need a level playing field. But isn't it funny that Zuckerberg here changed his tune when the criminal referral came out from Matt Gaetz here, saying that, yes, we need to update the rules for the internet, and Facebook is proudly American, which is pretty funny because I think you're more Chinese than American at this point, and it's pretty obvious. Not to us, to literally anybody, including even my lefty friends that I still have. They know it is because they run lefty pages and they're never censored, ever. They never have to worry about what they write. And I show on my page, like, there's definitely something there. It's pretty obvious to everyone at some point. So Matt Gaetz was the one that pushed this through, and this came out literally yesterday. So today, U.S. Congressman Matt Gaetz filed a criminal referral against Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg for making materially false statements to Congress while under oath during 2 joint hearings in Congress in April 10th of 2018, and during a hearing of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, and also a joint hearing of the Senate Judiciary Committee and the Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee, Mr. Zuckerberg repeatedly and categorically denied his company engaged in bias against conservative speech, persons, policies, or politics, and also denied that Facebook censored and suppressed content supportive of President Donald Trump and other conservatives. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, this is me and Methods are definitely going to be talking about this hearing and the Barr hearing, which we're going to get to in just a moment. We're going to be talking about all this stuff, because it's big news. Changing the way the internet operates right now is huge for literally everybody. If we can finally get on a level playing field, I don't care what happens after this point, as long as my voice is not censored, and we have to live with this big tech rental in your head. Oh, maybe I should delete that. Oh, I put Q in the title. I shouldn't do that. Let me delete all the Q stuff out of my profile. Those days need to end. They need to stop. It's totally unfair, but this is what we're going to be going into. So, like I said before, we saw Twitter suspending Donald Trump Jr. after he just literally shared the video for the HCQ with the doctor lady. That's what was going on. That's all it was. He wasn't even giving an opinion on it, and he actually, I don't know what this was, what social media this outlet was, but he gave a minute spiel on what happened to him. Let's take a watch.
And it was doctors talking about their thoughts on the benefits of hydroxychloroquine and its effect on people suffering from COVID-19. It was sort of amazing that I could repost something with doctors that I didn't take a position on. I just said, this is interesting. It's a must watch. You should really see what's going on here, because the reality is this seems very different from the narrative that is being told. I didn't take a position. I didn't advocate for one thing one way or the other. I just said, hey, you should watch this. I got taken down for promoting fake news, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not sure how that's possible, given that these are medical professionals. But apparently Twitter is a doctor, and they know much more about these things than others. And the reality is this. The science on this has not been settled. The science on this is still very much out there.
And all that good stuff. And it wasn't just Don Jr. They also went after Sidney Powell. And if you guys don't know who that is, that was General Michael Flynn's lawyer who helped him raise him from the grave to get out of the mess that he was in. Also went after her for literally sharing the video. It's funny because Jack is just showing his cards. He hates anything MAGA, anything that is not of the left, hates. And he's going after the president. He's now going after the president's son. And now he also went after Sidney Powell for the same thing. And these are high profile accounts, guys. These accounts have thousands, some of them millions of followers. And they're getting banned for sharing videos. We knew it was going to get bad. It's going to get worse before November. So now let's transition to the Bill Barr hearing. Now, it was funny. I want to bring this article up here. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me hop over to the chat here. We're at 2,900 viewers, guys. We're almost at 3,000. You guys are awesome. Hopefully we'll break that 3,000 mark. If you guys can just hit the like button for me, hit the like button, comment, tell your friends and family we are the news now. I'd really appreciate it. And again, guys, if you guys didn't notice, go out, check out my sponsor. If you guys didn't see it in the beginning of the episode, which is fine, go check him out right here. Go check him out in the link below and all that good stuff. Thank you guys. You're awesome. So just the news said Barr to come out swinging in House testimony decrying senseless violence in Russia probe abuses. Now, I just want to read the headline from that because if you guys watched the full hearing today, it wasn't really Bill Barr swinging. It was the House Democrats that came out swinging in their pitiful just questions about nonsense, about literally twisting every single thing that could possibly be twisted. It was on full display today. So here we go, Methods. If you're still here, I got all your clips lined up. I want to start out with Jim Jordan because I was getting a haircut, and I think, Eddie, if you're out there, I was getting a haircut while I was watching the beginning of this with my son, and Jim Jordan came out firing, talking about General Flynn and the unmasking. And there was something in here that none of us really knew, and this is why Methods wrote boom. There is a separate investigation going on into specifically the unmasking. We're going to start here, and then we're going to go through a bunch of clips in the gems that came out of the hearing today. Let's watch.
38 people unmasked Michael Flynn's name 49 times in a 2-month time frame. 7 people at the Treasury Department unmasked Michael Flynn's name. Is this an issue that Mr. Durham is looking into?
I've asked another U.S. attorney to look into the issue of unmasking because of, the high number of unmaskings and some that do not readily appear to have been in the line of normal business.
Wait. I want to be clear. So there is another investigation on that issue specifically going on at the Justice Department right now?
Yes.
Wow, that's great. So Mr. Durham is looking at how the whole Trump-Russia thing started. You have another U.S. attorney. Can you give us that U.S. attorney's name, or is that something you're comfortable doing? Or?
John Bash of Texas.
John Bash of Texas is looking specifically at the fact.
At unmasking.
38 people, 49 times unmasked Michael Flynn's name, and probably other unmaskings that took place in the final days of the Obama-Biden administration. Is that accurate?
Actually, a much longer period of time.
Even before that?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. I appreciate that, and that's information that the committee did not.
The committee did not know, and I'm sorry for the audio. I'm trying to get it up as loud as I can. He says that was a surprise to him. This is Jim Jordan talking. He has this guy from Texas looking at specifically the unmasking. And this is why I'm saying, guys, this type of investigation that's going on with Durham, it's massive. There are separate, it's just like a business. He's the top CEO and he has all his people investigating all these matters because it's so huge. It's unprecedented in this country. But he just found out today, and so with the rest of the country, there is a guy, this guy on Texas is just solely investigating the unmasking, and he's going back way farther than what we know now. And that should tell you a lot. So Jim Jordan, I think it was Jerry Nadler who went first. If you guys didn't know, Jerry Nadler, supposedly he got into a car accident and it delayed the hearing by like 45 minutes. And I was telling my friends, Jerry Nadler probably from his weight blew out the back tires of the car. They got some flats. It really was an accident, but you know how that goes. It got delayed 45 minutes. They were waiting on Nadler, and then Nadler spits out his vomit of whatever he said, and he went first, then Jim Jordan went here. And then Jim Jordan goes and continues to talk about Durham, the indictments, FISA. He goes on fire. It was really great to see. But to be honest, most of this hearing was dreadful, and you're going to see it right now because Bill Barr is a pro. This is his career. He's been around this stuff his entire life. He has to be special to be able to take the arrows that he got today. Seriously, I had to walk away from my computer at one point because I could not listen to these people, and they were being beyond disrespectful. So the first one up today, and for all my California people, you're gonna love this. Asshole Eric Swalwell, and he didn't fart today, unfortunately. I wish he did. It would have made it a lot better. But this is another one from Methods. Barr for the win. Let's take a watch and just watch Barr destroy Swalwell.
So how can you sit here and tell us, why should I investigate the President of the United States if you're not even aware of the facts concerning the President using the pardon or commutation power to swap the silence of a witness?
Because we require, a reliable predicate before we open a criminal investigation.
And I just gave you...
I don't consider it. I consider it a very Rube Goldberg theory that you had.
Well, it sounds like you're hearing this
and by the way, if I applied this standard, there'd be a lot more people under investigation.
Mr. Attorney General, the very same day that Roger Stone said that, Donald Trump,
that's one of the,
no surprise,
the true two standards of justice were really during the tail end of the Obama administration.
Mr. Attorney General, let's...
And surprisingly, guys, the video you just saw, Barr was lucky to get out with what you just saw right there. The man could barely get a sentence out, and then you even had some of these congressmen and women screaming at this guy, yelling at this guy in anger. And you saw it in the beginning of the show where it said, "I'm going to reclaim my time." Anytime Barr was to answer a question, try to explain what they're accusing him of, I'm sorry, sir. I don't have a lot of time. I'm reclaiming my time. I didn't ask you a question. You heard that a million times. And what he was referring to with Swalwell on this one, Swalwell was like, you don't read the president's tweets. And Swalwell was trying to make the argument that you need to look at the tweets of the president, and basing off tweets of the president, we should investigate. And that's what Barr was talking about. And he said, no, we go by the rule of law. And if we were going off tweets, he's like, a lot more people would be under investigation. So much tongue in cheek. And then at the end, he slides in the Obama administration being corrupt as hell at the end of that, after the end of the conversation. Swalwell did not do well. And in fact, he was probably one of the weakest ones that I saw, because the other ones, they just yelled more, so they seemed to be more confident. But Swalwell, he got eaten alive. And this is generally what we were seeing throughout the day. And it went back and forth, and we had some Republicans here. And this one in particular was fantastic. It's a short clip. Again, Methods is on this already. It's 11 seconds. You're going to hear what Kelly Armstrong was asking here, and we'll talk about it in just a second. Take a watch.
And then just one last question. Why would we have to negotiate a ceasefire with a peaceful protest?
You're correct, but why would that's right.
And then just one last.
It's a very simple question. I don't know what state it was. I think it might have been Portland. Somebody was requesting a ceasefire in their city. If you need to request a ceasefire for your city, are they peaceful protesters? And you see Barr there. He catches it at the last second, and he's like, "Well, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right." Doesn't make any sense. And the best part about this hearing too is what in the beginning of it, all these videos you guys have been seeing on Twitter and social media, they played a montage of all these videos of what I showed you with Jerry Nadler in the background, of all the protests, all the destruction, all this stuff, and you literally have these Democrats up there yelling at Bill Barr, and some of this stuff is out of his realm. People have to remember, he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He doesn't make these medical decisions. He doesn't make a lot of this. He doesn't control a lot of this stuff. And he was being blasted today by the House Democrats, completely blasted. And while Barr is trying to explain himself with the destruction of, especially out in Portland, with what these federal officers are going through, literally talking about how they're throwing kerosene balloons into the building through the windows while throwing high grade fireworks. High-grade fireworks where he said today 3 officers are permanently blind right now. Permanently blind. These are the DOH officers. And the worst part is, he said today, this is from Kelly, he asked today, how are they doing? And he's like, I'm serious. I want to know how they're doing. I'm genuinely curious. And Barr literally said, they're doing fine. They're doing their duty. But he's like, they're extremely tired. When they're done with the riots every single night, I think it's going on to almost 2 months now that they've been there, consecutive days. They go to their hotels, the agents do, and these Antifa, BLM, whoever they are, these protesters, they follow them and harass them at the hotels so they don't sleep, so they can, the more tired they are, the more prone they are to make mistakes. And this is what they're going through every single day. And it's not even that. The people that are working inside this federal building, they're still working. There's lawyers there still working. There's marshals in there. There's judges in there still working under these conditions, along with COVID and along with a pack of hundreds of hyenas outside that all they want to do is burn the bitch down with you inside of it. And watching the Dems go and do this, it was hard to watch. And again, this is why we're going to see a landslide in November 3rd, and it cannot get here. 99 days, guys. 99 days. But let's keep watching the shit show that was the hearing here. So let's keep going. Again, Methods. This pretty much sums up this entire hearing. This was Representative Lou Carrera, also from California, and Barr eats his lunch.
that it is not a self-defining term as they
Only got 2 minutes, sir.
that they recognize.
Barr, if I
Yeah,
may.
but this is a hearing. I thought I was the one that was supposed to be heard.
Well, let me, and I'm going to get there. The current.
And this was the problem. It was hard to watch because we already knew the Dems were going to spew this, but it would have been nice to hear from the man that they're completely destroying. And that's all you heard the entire time. And Barr was getting sick of it. You could tell as this was progressing, he was getting more and more frustrated. But to his credit, he didn't snap. He did get loud with some guys. He did. But he was very calm, cool, and collective. And again, this is why he has the job. And he's been constantly accused of being Trump's lapdog. And you're going to see here the names they were calling him, the things they were accusing him of. And Jim Jordan here was literally, that was saying anything or trying to stick up for him because literally a rebuttal from Barr. And either was, I guess there's another lady that's supposed to allow, I don't know how these committees are set up, but there was no, please allow Barr to speak. So Jim Jordan had enough. And you're going to see it here in this clip.
Chairman, Mr. John, I got a question.
What purpose? For what purpose does the gentleman seek?
For months, you've tried to get the Attorney General to come. He's here. Why don't you let him speak? Why don't you let him answer the questions?
The gentleman is not.
Time after time. If you want the Attorney General to come, at least let him answer the questions and the accusations made against him.
The gentleman's rudeness is not recognized.
Rudeness?
Rudeness is on the other side.
Barr said the rudeness is on the other side.
You refuse to let the Attorney General of the United States him.
Mr. Stanton is recognized.
Well, maybe the last few witnesses will actually let the Attorney General speak.
And this is why it was so hard to watch. Jerry Nadler over there, that little bee, telling Bill Barr that he's the one that's being rude. He's not even speaking. He was trying to speak, trying to answer, and they just railroaded him. Completely railroaded this man. And Jim Jordan's like, hey, you guys waited months for this. And Jim Jordan knows this is all horseshit. He knows that. He knows this entire thing is for optics. It's just to hurt the president. They're going to spew lies. He knows this. Jim Jordan's, he's been around for a while. He knows this. And he's like, please just let the man talk. And Nadler has the balls to go and say, Bill Barr is being rude. All Bill Barr wanted to do was to answer the questions because they were literally just hammering him non-stop. It didn't end. And we're going to keep going because if you guys didn't see it, these clips are worth the watch. Here we go.
Last month, you echoed the president's conspiracy theory when you suggested in at least 3 interviews that, quote, foreign countries could manufacture counterfeit ballots, end quote, to influence the presidential election, correct? You did that in at least 3 interviews?
Yes.
Okay. But in fact, you have no evidence that foreign countries can successfully sway our elections with counterfeit ballots, do you?
No, I don't, but I have common sense.
No, I don't, but I have common sense. And you can just tell he's sitting here like this. He's got his finger under his nose. This was getting towards the end. And it was just getting worse. They were ripping him on everything from Trump's tweets to Antifa to telling Barr that he's ordering his stormtroopers to go after innocent Americans, beating them and pepper spraying them and saying, is this how you treat this? You're completely unconstitutional. And this is what Barr was dealing with. And it was completely getting nailed. And it didn't stop. And one of the worst parts of this hearing was this. And through literally, I think he had a break. He took 2 breaks. The first break was probably about an hour and a half in. And then he went through another round of getting bashed. It was probably about an hour and a half. And he asked Jerry for a 5-minute break. A 5-minute break. And Nadler said no. Watch this interaction because it's classic. Here we go.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, could we take a 5-minute break?
Dean is recognized.
Could we take a 5-minute break, Mr. Chairman?
No.
That's a common courtesy,
Dean is
Mr. Chairman, of every witness.
I waited an hour for you this morning. I haven't had lunch. I'd like to take a 5-minute break.
Mr. Attorney General, we are almost finished. We're going to be finished in a few minutes. Otherwise, we can certainly take a break, but
you're real class.
Yes, after this, if you still we'll have a break.
No, he wants a break now.
You want it now?
And you just mentioned rudeness. I think we're seeing it on display. Let's let the Attorney General have a break.
Committee will stand in recess now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're a real class act, Mr. Chairman. This is Bill Barr. He's been around the block. He doesn't give a shit about any of these people. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's within the law, and that's exactly what he was doing. And they were getting on him about Roger Stone with that, and they were livid with his response, and especially with Roger Stone. But there's only so many things we could capture from this, but this was what we were dealing with. Jim Jordan was the only one that was really standing up for him. The other Republicans, you could tell they were all supportive of Barr. They were asking the real questions that needed to be asked and all that stuff. But Nadler up there, that little Nazi prick with his little gavel, and he was also telling Jim Jordan and others to wear masks too, because they didn't wear masks in the beginning. But he was demanding that everyone wear their mask. It was an absolute clown show. Let me just see what else we got here. And we'll do, let's see here. We'll do one more clip here. I think you guys get the point. This one was really, really good as well. And this was my favorite one because it's the classic Bill Barr, take a sip and suck it.
Attorney General, the time is mine. We've waited a long time for you to come here. The time is mine.
You waited to talk to me like this? You didn't need to wait
When
so
asked
long.
about the use of pepper bombs fired at Americans and lobbyists,
You waited so long. You didn't have to wait so long to talk to me like this. And they were so nasty with him, man. And you know what? This whole thing was over. Kudos to Bill Barr for going through this. The Dems waited months for this to happen, and all of it was a show. It was a clown show. It's all it was, because not once did they were still talking about Russia. They were still saying that why are you letting off Trump's friends? That's include Michael Flynn, Roger Stone, letting them off literally as Jim Jordan's reading off the 17 errors from the Pfizer applications, and all of Peter Strzok's notes that we all know now. They all been out. And the FBI clearly said, he wrote it himself, the man that was leading the investigation said Flynn was not, they did not think he was any part of any kind of Russia collusion. Literally the man that was investigating, the FBI said this, and they still, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So I'm trying to not get angry at this stuff anymore, because we know what the game plan is going to be for them going forward. We're going to have to see what happens, but really the whole hearing, I'm not sure what the whole entire point was. I'm not sure. Is this going to be a lead on to another investigation now until Bill Barr to throw more monkey wrenches into Trump's image before the election? Who the hell knows? But it was worth watching. It was worth seeing this man just take the arrows just like Trump's been doing. And I'm hoping justice is going to be served, because watching that was really, really hard. But let's get to some good news, and then we're going to get into some weird, quirky stories to end the show tonight. And we're going to wrap this up. So breaking 911, this was announced also right before the show. So this was exciting because it ties into what I was talking about with the lady doctor talking about getting HCQ over the counter. This is what Trump was talking about as far as his 8 weeks of things that this country has never seen. And guys and ladies and gentlemen, Trump is bringing back the pharmaceutical industry back to this country. And it says right here, President Trump, by administration, is using the Defense Production Act to provide $765 million loans to support the launch of Kodak Pharmaceuticals. POTUS calls it a breakthrough in bringing pharmaceutical manufacturing back to the United States. Listen to the man, the myth, the legend himself.
With this new agreement, my administration is using the Defense Production Act to provide a $765 million loan to support the launch of Kodak Pharmaceuticals. It's a great name when you think of it. Such a great name. Was one of the great brands in the world. Then people went digital and Kodak didn't follow. But now under very extraordinary leadership, they are following. And they're doing something that's a different field, and it's a field that they've really hired some of the best people in the world to be taking care of that company and watching that company, watching over it. But it's a breakthrough in bringing pharmaceutical manufacturing back to the United States.
Bringing back pharmaceutical industry to the United States. This president, in a very, very long time, the first president I could vote for because of my age, it was Obama. And I mean, I grew up with Bush during 9/11. I remember all that. I remember vaguely Bill Clinton before he got kicked out. I honestly think Americans right now, a lot of Americans, especially the ones that hate Trump, I don't think they're used to. They've been so what's the word I'm looking for? They're just not used to having a president that literally puts America first. And I think it's been so long, they've been desensitized. That's the word I was looking for. They've been desensitized. And the fact that this president is bringing back jobs, is completely turning around this country, and on top of it, cutting ties with China. Because if anything, Trump's been talking about this, if anything that we could take home from this was the fact that we have been so reliant on China for so much stuff. The fact that we are, I don't understand, because all they do is steal our intellectual property. They steal our stuff. They've infiltrated Hollywood. They've infiltrated this country. They want nothing more than this country to be on their knees and to have them completely take over. And that's what will happen if Joe Biden's president. And he knows that. So right now, Trump is going, and I think he's playing his Trump cards right now, as far as this is definitely part of his reelection campaign. Because when he goes out in September, I think the end of September is going to be the first debate between him and Biden so far. He's going to have all these things on top of everything else he had already accomplished. He's going to be rolling out all these things in the next 8 weeks, and this is just going to add to the list. How is this man going to lose? I don't think it's going to happen. He's bringing back $765 million loan to launch Kodak Pharmaceuticals, and would it surprise you, ladies and gentlemen, if he does this and then HCQ is readily available over the counter in the United States? Watch it happen. I don't have any sauce for that. That's just my personal opinion. Watch it happen, because COVID's not... Q said COVID's going to end +1 after the election. I don't know yet, because his vaccines are also coming out. And a lot of people are upset about vaccines. I personally don't like vaccines. That's just my deal. But at the same time, Trump has to maintain a certain level of optics. So we'll see what happens with this COVID stuff. We'll see. So let's transition here real quick. I want to get some real quick stories. Lawyers for Ghislaine Maxwell trying to keep X-rated evidence from going public. And we've known this for a while. This is their last attempt to keep certain documents, certain people's names, and some really, I guess, high-level people. They want to keep them out of the record, out of the limelight, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And Ghislaine Maxwell, this is from the Gateway Pundit, who allegedly helped convicted pedophile Epstein recruit underage girl. We know that. Now her defense attorneys are trying to keep from public view sensitive evidence ahead of her trial, including any nude photos and sexualized videos that will be marked highly confidential according to court documents. In a proposed protective order filed Monday, Maxwell's attorneys detailed the discovery materials they believe should be kept out of public view and filed under seal in Manhattan. Well, why would that be? Highly confidential information contains nude, partially nude, or otherwise sexualized images, videos, or other depictions of individuals, the court paper states. I think some of that material is Prince Andrew. That's what I think. And it's going to be him with a whole lot of others. So we're still going to be waiting on that. Other news. Just the News also put this out against Bill Gates. Real quick, the White House petition. I remember talking about this petition that was online. And I think when I signed it myself, it was at like 360. And you only need 100,000 signatures to to get the investigation in front of the White House. And it looks like... You can see here a White House petition that was launched in April to investigate Bill and Melinda Gates for crimes against humanity and medical malpractice has amassed 6 times the number of signatures needed in order to get an official response. And I think they got up to, this says the petition was launched on April 10th. Within days, it garnered 100,000 signatures. And as of Sunday night, more than 618,000 people have signed the petition. Now, I don't know if this is going to grow any legs. I don't know if this is going to turn into something. There are a lot of people, a lot of evidence, and like I said, a lot of people that want to bring Bill and Melinda Gates down. There are people that have said, that I've heard myself literally say, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation makes the Clinton Foundation look like child's play. And that's what I've heard from people that have investigated this stuff personally. And, you know, we all know what happened out in those other countries where they sterilized those kids with his vaccines and all that stuff. I've shown it on the show. I've shown the studies on it, the hard sauce on it. It's real. So we'll have to see what happens. In other news, this was really weird. I normally never talk about Tom Hanks on the show. It's very rare because a lot of this stuff is clickbaity garbage that I just do not want on this channel. But I'm bringing this up because this was weird. Movie star Tom Hanks' wife Rita Wilson officially citizens of Greece, and most of you probably know this already, but they got citizenship in Greece, I think, a couple of days ago. And Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, Mistostakis made the announcement in an Instagram post in which the couple posed with passports. And then when I saw this, of course, all the rumor mill started on Twitter. Everyone was saying it's going to be Hanks, but literally 2 days ago, I heard Hanks died. It's a clone. All this garbage I literally hear every day. I see in my DMs that I just do not respond to. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because my buddy Sean, who is in the chat right now, Thinking Anon, he sent me this article here from the Daily News that's from January 10th, 2012. And this is why I think this is the only reason why I bring it up. Pedophilia as a disability. Greece in uproar over allowing pedophiles, kleptomaniacs special status. This is the only reason why I'm bringing this up. Greek disability groups expressed anger Monday at a government decision to expand a list of state-recognized disability categories to include pedophiles, exhibitionists, and kleptomaniacs. The National Confederation of Disabled People called the action incomprehensible. So I believe the long run for the evil people in this country would be to make pedophilia a disability and something that it's a sickness and not something that's just absolutely disgusting and just downright evil. They want to make it a disability and just kind of justify it that way. I have no sauce on what Tom Hanks, as far as with kids, with any of that stuff, we've all seen the weird post he puts on Instagrams, all the weird symbology that's associated with him, his son. We've all seen it. I don't report anything past that because all of it's speculation. All of it is literally speculation to me at this point, and it's a waste of time. But the fact that he went and did this, it also triggered more questions about Obama, and will he also do the same thing and claim citizenship in Kenya and get the hell out of the United States when shit hits the fan? I don't know. But it wasn't just Tom Hanks that was having bad headlines written about him. The Ellen DeGeneres show is also reportedly under internal investigation after workplace complaints, and I don't know if the show is even going to come back. It's garbage anyways. Ellen DeGeneres is a puppet of the CIA. She's part of the problem in all this. Now they're under investigation for toxic work event, and it wasn't just her. Not just her. It also, Oprah here. Oprah's magazine will stop publishing in print, and would you like to know why? After 20 years, it's going to stop. The move comes as the magazine's co-founder, Hearst Communications, faces up to allegations of sexual harassment and a toxic work environment. Wow, Oprah. Wow, sexual harassment. Anybody remember John of God? She has really, really great company. All these people that everyone looked up to, suddenly the people in this country don't give a shit about anymore. And that's including Hollywood, entertainers. The world is waking up. And I just want to remind people before we end tonight, do not be this couple. I hope to God no one's doing this. This is extreme, and this is what sheep truly look like. Take a watch as we wrap up the show. It's awful. Awful. And yes, I have seen out here in New York going on some dates with the wife, seeing people that do this shit, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. So you guys were effing awesome tonight. We're at 3,500 viewers, guys. That's awesome. That's a new normal record. I don't know if we're gonna ever break 6,400 in anytime soon, but we hit 3,500. You guys hit that like button. Thank you for everyone that showed up tonight, everyone that was hanging out tonight. You guys and the mods, you guys are awesome. You guys were awesome. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff in tonight. A lot of stuff. And tomorrow, guys, it's gonna be even crazier. I don't know if I've only seen a couple of these hearings with big tech before. I don't know if it's going to be boring. I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. And yeah, we'll be talking about tomorrow, guys. You're going to be getting, now you get me Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If I do interviews Friday and Saturday, you guys are getting 5 days a week. And if you're on the Patreon, you're going to get me on Mondays too. I couldn't do yesterday. Some personal stuff popped up, but you guys are getting a lot of woke societies. But even now, you're going to get me and Methods on Wednesdays, which are going to be starting again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And I can't wait to do that with him. It's always fun when there's someone else on the show doing all the stuff behind the scenes. If you guys don't do this, it's a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to keep track of it, but you get better as you go on. So let me know what you guys think of the episode in the comments, in the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as I do. On your way out, please go check out my store. You're supporting 2 local businesses when you buy merch from my shop. It's all American made stuff. It's made by my brother and Bruce from ESO Creative that makes all the apparel. It is truly helping their businesses right now in this time of crisis. It really is, guys. I can't tell you how much the store products are helping tremendously everyone that's involved with it. So I thank you guys for that. So go check that out. Check out the Patreon. Check out the BitChute, the backup. Thank you guys for out there that were on D Live. Everyone out on Periscope. Thank you guys for hanging out. You guys are great. And we got a full week of show for this whole entire week. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me get a new song on here. Yeah. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Me and Method's gonna be doing a show at 3 o'clock. It's gonna be an hour show. I cannot wait. It's gonna be effing awesome. It's gonna be a little bit different than we're used to, but hey, the future is looking bright. So thank you guys. Love you guys. Love the woke fam. So as I always say, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay warm, and stay woke. Have a good night, everybody.